Hello and welcome to this very special presentation building up for Pakistan. New Zealand rained out, so what? The match of the World Cup coming up, India v Pakistan. To analyze it, somebody half Indian wears a blue suit. I will always... A blue shirt on, beautiful. Always wears a blue suit and a blue tie on India Day. 90% Indian, 10% Australian. Michael Clarke. Michael.
Hello, buddy.
New Zealand... history now. India going into this match 2 wins, 1 abandoned game. Pakistan losing to Australia. Which team is better? Who has momentum? How do you set it up?
Oh, there's no doubt India is the favourite against Pakistan. I actually think the way India is playing, they're on par with probably England as the favourites to win the World Cup. I think those two teams are probably the standout at the moment. I know New Zealand's had a really good start. Australia have got a couple of wins, but England, India look the two best teams. I think Pakistan will want to bounce back though. I think they didn't play that well against Australia, but there's some parts where they'll take some positives. I think the way they bowled at the end to restrict Australia, it was a real positive. I think the way Amir bowled was a real positive. And then the way they fought with the bat to get close. So, you know, they'll want to play better than they did against Australia, and they're going to have to beat India. I think India will miss Shikhar Dhawan.
That was my question, that without Shikhar, Rohit and Rahul, Amir and Wahab will come hard.
Yep. And I think with Shikhar, not only do you have a class player, you have that experience at the top of the order. KL Rahul is a wonderful player, and I'm assuming he's going to open the batting. But then again, just making a change so early in your World Cup 11, ideally you don't want to do that as a captain. You want to be keeping the same 11 for as long as you can, and consistently at the start of the tournament. And I think KL Rahul was owning that number 4 role as well. I think he was really suited to that. Now there's a change. He comes to the top. Who comes in the middle? Who bats at number 4? That's going to be the question.
The 2 options being bandied around at the moment. One is Dinesh Karthik because of his experience. The other is Vijay Shankar. We were talking to Sachin. Sachin's opinion is if you've got Vijay Shankar as 4, give him a go, because pressure situation put him there. He's talented. Sometimes in these situations players just come through.
Well, I think the advantage with Vijay Shankar is you get his bowling as well. So it's an action which, for mine, if you're 50-50 which way to go, I'd be going with the guy who can bat and bowl. He offers you 2 facets of the game instead of 1. Maybe hard on Dinesh Karthik. I think, again, his experiences would be very helpful going in at number 4. But you have a look who the number 4 bats around. You've got Virat Kohli at 3, very experienced, world's best player. MS Dhoni at 5. So I think if India are going to take a risk, it's the right position to go with Vijay Shankar.
Would you even think that MS Dhoni can come in at number 4?
Easily. He can bat anywhere in the order. I think that should be a conversation between Virat and MS. I think Virat should ask MS, do you want to bat 4 or do you want to stay at 5? I think if they went Vijay Shankar, I think I'd keep MS Dhoni at 5 and keep Virat at 3.
So you'll
put the youngster in the middle. And again, I don't feel India's got anything to lose. They're playing great cricket. They're full of confidence. They've got wonderful players throughout that top 7 that can all make runs. So, yeah, I think there's, I don't think there's any harm in giving the youngster Vijay Shankar the opportunity.
Michael, before I set the game up, you've been a wonderful batsman yourself. One of the best in the world. Rohit Sharma versus Mohammad Amir. He'll come hard. 5 wickets against Australia. Bowling the channel, bowling really well. How do you combat Mohammad Amir? Champions Trophy, he defeated India almost with that opening spell.
I think the challenge for both Rohit and KL Rahul and Virat, 3 right-handers, that top 3 against the new ball, is if the ball swings, you've got to set up for that. So Amir's skillful. He looks to swing the ball back in, but he can also take it away off the pitch. So he's got 2 weapons. If the ball doesn't swing, I think that's easier for a right-hander because you assume every ball is going to go away with that angle. So that's going to be the key. Assess conditions. Let's see what type of pitch it is. Let's see what's overhead. If it's overcast, like I would imagine, I haven't seen the forecast, I would imagine there's every chance it could be overcast with the weather we've had over the last few days. Then we might see that ball swing, and that'll make all Pakistan bowlers and all Indian bowlers a lot tougher to face.
You know, as Michael is saying, I mean, the conditions are expected to be overcast. Pakistan will come hard. So who are the people who India need to be careful of? Take a look at what Pakistan poses in terms of a threat. You know, if I now look at the Indian bowling, Michael, I mean, it's a handy attack. Jasprit Bumrah, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. We were having a conversation with Sachin and he thinks overcast conditions, cloudy conditions, India should go in with Mohammad Shami. Your thoughts?
Well, Mohammad Shami is a wonderful bowler as well. I think if conditions are conducive, then the option India have is to play the extra fast bowler and only play one spinner.
Yeah, that's what his take is.
I think if conditions are conducive, why not? You know, I think gone are the days where India has to pick, you know, two spinners because that's the only way they're going to win the game. Those days are gone. India's quicks are as good as any fast bowlers in the world. So why don't you play, like I say, if you get the right pitch, if you get overhead conditions, play three fast bowlers, you got Hardik Pandya becomes the fourth, and then you still got one of the spinner and Jadhav to bowl some part-timers. So again, I think that's, you know, that's such a...
And Vijay Shankar if he plays.
And if Vijay Shankar plays as well, it's a lot of bowling. That's a lot of bowling. That's the other thing you could do. India could still just go with two fast bowlers, use Hardik and Vijay, and then you've got two legitimate spinners. But again, in regards to selection, you have to pick on the pitch you're playing on, the overhead conditions, and most importantly, the opposition you're playing. I would imagine Pakistan would prefer to face spin than they would the fast bowlers.
So against an Amir or a Wahab, I mean, against Australia, the Indian ploy worked beautifully. Yeah. Play out Stark, play out Cummins, 40 odd in the first 10, get to 350. Yeah. You think something similar against Pakistan? Because Amir and Wahab will come hard. Couple of wickets down, India will suddenly feel, oh, no Shikhar Dhawan, middle order opens up. Then Rohit and Virat will be the key, you agree?
Well, I think the start is very important. How they start their innings is so important because you want to get India off to a good start like they did against Australia. I don't necessarily think you need to go as... I think Australia's attack relies heavily on Cummins and Stark. And then I think you've got some bowlers that you can attack as a batsman. Pakistan, not so much. I thought the other day against Australia, Pakistan were too short and too wide. If they bowl like that against India's top order, look out. India will make a big score. So I think they'll be looking to improve from that. I think they'll be looking to learn from Amir. His control was very good, but they have to be a lot better than they were against Australia. I think they should be watchful. Again, look at conditions. They should be watchful against the brand new ball. But at the moment, like I say, the fact that Rohit and Virat are in good form, I think they just got to play their natural game.
2015, your World Cup in Australia, Virat got 100 against Pakistan, won India that game. Yep. Now he's captain. You know, this will mean the world to him. We know what political issues have happened between these countries. We know what happened in January, February. It all adds up, makes this game something more than a cricket contest. As a player, do you actually think that it's just another game, or this is just a ploy to say, you know what, it's a game, but there is a lot more to India-Pakistan.
Well, you try to. As a player, you try to make it. You go to training, you prepare, you have your dinner, you go to bed, and you try and make it just another game, but it's not. This is probably bigger than the World Cup final to these two countries. This is the biggest game of the World Cup, in my opinion. And it's because of everything that comes with it. It's because of the politics. It's because of the build-up, the fact that we're regularly having the conversation, India versus Pakistan. So as much as the players are going to try to just say it's another game, I think even in your subconscious, it's bigger than that. Guys won't sleep as well as they normally do the night before. Guys will be more nervous in the morning. It's actually brilliant preparation for the World Cup final. Because as much as I tried in 2015 to tell the Australian team, it's just another game. We play exactly like we played every other game in this tournament and we'll win the World Cup final. Deep down, there's more nerves. There's more excitement. There's more adrenaline running through your body. I didn't sleep as well as I normally do the night before the game. I was up earlier in the morning. This game will be no different for these two teams.
Another player who actually we are all looking forward to is Hardik Pandya. Oh, yeah. Because he's got that whole attitude, that big occasion, I want to take it, I want to win the World Cup.
Yep, that's Hardik. Hardik's exactly like that. And that will be Hardik's strength throughout his career. He will be criticised for it from some people, the way it looks, or is it arrogance, is it overconfidence? But that's what makes him the player that you want in your team as captain. It's exactly how I saw David Warner in the Australian team. I wanted him in that team because I knew that confidence, that call it arrogance to a certain extent, under pressure, you could have him walk out to bat. He wasn't scared. He did not fear failure. He was excited by it. Bring it on. Hardik is exactly the same. He will be absolutely pumped. And he'll be saying to Virat, give me the ball. Let me bowl. Under pressure. 2 overs to go, 5 runs to win, whatever. Let me bowl it. That's what you want as a captain. You want players like that in your team that want that big stage, that big occasion.
You know, this game, 2011, has television ratings which broke every record. Take a look as to exactly what it means, what this rivalry is all about as I take a break. I'll come back and take a few comments from Michael Clarke. Who are the key players for India and Pakistan? Who better than one of the best brains of cricket to analyse that for you? Let me talk a bit about Pakistan batting. Babar Azam is almost the Virat Kohli of Pakistan.
Well, I think he's that important to Pakistan. There's no doubt about it. I watched him bat the other day when I was commentating against Australia. He looked unbelievable. He got out playing a hook shot, caught it fine leg, but I think he made 30. The 30 runs he scored before that was as good as I've seen through this tournament. He's a very classy.
So what should India do to him? Bow shot, give him that?
I think as soon as he comes out to bat, you've probably got to go to your best bowler, your strike weapon, which is probably Bumrah. That extra pace, it's worth using Bumrah for a couple of overs against him. But I think definitely you've got to be using that short ball, try and push him back and then hopefully get that edge. But it's like any class player. You've got to look to get them out early. That first sort of 20 or 30 balls is so important to get him out.
Pakistan going in with 2 defeats, India going in with momentum. Does that make a difference? Is it here in the heart? Who feels what?
Yeah, it does make a difference because I think confidence is so important. In a big game against good opposition, you want to be really confident in how you're playing individually. And then as captain particularly, you want to know that your team's playing well. So Pakistan... India definitely starts as the favourites, in my opinion. Pakistan are going to have to play the best they've played. They're going to have to play better than they played against England to beat England if they want to beat India.
Big statement coming from Michael Clarke. Big statement. Last 2 questions before I close this. Who are your key players, Michael, for India and for Pakistan? First, India. Set up individual battles if there are any.
India, I'm going straight for the big 3. I think Rohit Sharma at the top of the order, Virat Kohli, captain and leader, and then Bumrah. I think those 3 players can win India the game. I think Rohit is in good form and I like the way he's batting at the moment, so he can set a foundation for India. Virat will read the play. Like he did against Australia, he walked in and said, OK, I've got to be aggressive here. I've got to keep momentum going. So he played all of his shots because of that partnership between Rohit and Shikhar. And then Bumrah's bowling unbelievably well. So he can take wickets early. I think those 3 for India are certainly the key. When I think of Pakistan, I want to say they're senior players. Yes, Babar, batting in such an important role, and I feel like he's in good form. He hasn't made that 100, or he didn't make that 100 the other day against Australia, but he looked like he's playing well enough to make a big score. Amir's bowling very well, so I think he's going to be a strike weapon to try and get some early wickets for India. And then someone like Hafiz or Malik, I think their experience to help Pakistan, bring out the best in their team are probably the most important for them.
So finally, you said India favourites, big favourites. You think it's India?
I can't see India losing. I think, and I think if we were talking about any other team, India versus any other team right now, I think I would say the same. I can't see India losing. I think they are playing, they're primed, they're ready, they're confident, they're up for the big occasion. I think they're going to be so tough to beat in this World Cup.
So tough to beat in this World Cup. Words from Michael Clarke. Honey to my ears. I mean, wonderful to my ears. Just what the doctor ordered. Can India win this? Semi-finals open up for us if we win this one.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any doubt India's going to qualify for the semi-finals, but if you're in Virat's shoes or the Indian players' shoes, they won't be thinking like that.
Just win one at a time.
They'll be thinking every game we play, we want to win. Let's not lose a game in the whole tournament.
I asked Sachin this, and I said, they might have a bad day. He stopped me and said, why? Australia 2007, Australia 2003. Win all.
Yeah.
If you're that good, win all, go win the tournament.
Well, I can tell you in 2015, we didn't want to lose that game to New Zealand. And it probably happened at the right time. It gave us a kick up the backside that we needed. But ideally, as captain, I didn't want to give one game up. Every game was so important because what it does is it builds confidence, builds momentum, more momentum, another win, another win, another win. And I think right now when you're playing good cricket, you get on that winning wave, ride that wave for as long as you can.
Ride that wave for as long as you can. On that note, can't be better. Michael Clarke will join us on Match Day. Match Day World Cup on India today. Sachin Tendulkar, Michael Clarke, Sunil Gavaskar, Harbhajan Singh. I can keep going on because India will beat Pakistan, as he said. Thanks for watching.
Thanks Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.